Okay, picture this, a heist. But we're not talking about gold or jewels. We're talking about data, your data. Imagine it being stolen right now, in plain sight, but it's completely unreadable. It's just sitting there silently, waiting for some day in the future when it can finally be unlocked. And this isn't some plot from a sci-fi movie. This is a very real threat, and it's happening right now.
So that leads to a pretty startling question, doesn't it? Every day, we send emails, we make bank transfers, we share all sorts of private information, and we do it all assuming it's protected by this powerful encryption. But what if that assumption is wrong? What if the most sensitive secrets of today are already sitting on a server somewhere in the hands of an adversary?
And that's really the chilling part of this whole quantum data heist. The theft may have already happened. The bad guys are just waiting for the right key to finally open the vault.
To really get our heads around how this is even possible, we first need to take a look at how we protect our information right now. So let's talk about our current digital locks.
And you know, that's a totally fair assumption to make. We rely on these incredibly complex math problems to create our digital locks, what we call encryption, to keep our data safe. Think of it like a vault door that's so ridiculously complex that even the fastest supercomputers we have today would take, thousands, maybe even millions of years to crack.
Now, you've probably never heard the names RSA or ECC, but trust me, they are the absolute workhorses of our digital world. These are the standards that secure literally everything, from your online banking login to top-secret government communications. For now, anyway, they are the strongest locks we've got.
But what happens when a whole new kind of key gets made? A key that doesn't have to bother trying every single combination, but can just find the right one almost instantly. This isn't science fiction, folks. This is the dawn of what you could call the quantum skeleton key.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. It comes from cybersecurity experts who are basically sounding the alarm. The very foundation of our digital security, the thing we all rely on, is kind of like it's built on sand and, well, the quantum tide is coming in.
So here's the crucial point. A quantum computer just doesn't play by the same rules as a normal one. Think about it like this. To crack a code, a regular computer has to try every single possible key, one by one by one. But a quantum computer, because of some really mind-bending physics, can essentially check all the keys at the same time. That super secure vault door we were talking about, a quantum computer could just walk right through it.
And this brings us to the really sneaky strategy that's happening right now, silently, in the background. It's an attack with a very, very long fuse, and it's called Harvest Now, Decrypt Later.
Yeah, it's just as insidious as it sounds. Adversaries aren't even trying to break the encryption today. They don't have to. All they're doing is siphoning off huge amounts of encrypted data, our data, and just stockpiling it. They're playing the long game.
And here it is, their playbook. It's simple, it's patient, and it's terrifyingly effective. Step 1, collect the data. Step 2, store it, which is super cheap to do. Step 3, they just wait. And Step 4, they unlock everything. We're talking about intellectual property, state secrets, your personal health records, financial history. Any data that needs to stay secret for decades, suddenly laid bare for all to see.
Okay, so that's the threat. It's big, it's coming. But the good news is, the world's brightest minds are already all over this. They're working on a solution. It's time to start building a stronger lock.
And you can see the difference right here. On the left, that's where we are now, vulnerable. But on the right, that's where we need to be. Post-Quantum Cryptography, or PQC for short, isn't just some patch. No, it's a whole new kind of lock. It's based on totally different math problems that we believe are hard for both regular computers and quantum computers to solve.
So, how do we get there without, breaking everything in the process? Well, the answer is something called hybrid cryptography. And it's a really brilliant practical solution for this transition period. You don't rip out the old lock, you just add a new quantum-resistant one right next to it, so an attacker would have to break both of them. It gives us the best of both worlds.
And listen, this isn't just a theory on a whiteboard. New standards are actually emerging. Algorithms with nerdy names like ML-KEM are being rolled out. These are the actual building blocks of our future quantum-safe world, and they're being tested and put into place as we speak.
So, the pieces are in place. We understand the threat, we've got the tools to build a defense, but this is not a casual stroll. This is a flat-out race against time.
So what's the big takeaway for organizations? It's all about being proactive. It starts with asking a simple question.
What information do we have that, if it was revealed in 10 or 20 years, would be catastrophic? We're talking about long-term corporate strategies, national security files, medical data. Then it's about figuring out where all your locks are and starting that strategic upgrade.
And this entire approach, this way of thinking, fits perfectly into a broader security philosophy you might have heard of called zero trust. The basic idea of zero trust is never trust, always verify. So preparing for the quantum threat, well, it's really the next logical step in building a truly tough modern defense system.
And that's where we have to leave it. The heist is already underway and the clock is ticking. The technology to protect ourselves exists, which is great, but the race is on to deploy it before that quantum skeleton key is finally turned. So the question is no longer if this is going to happen, but when, and will we be ready?